Hi, it's Francisco from Navteca. In this quick video, I'm going to show you how to turn your Python function into an API service using our Jupyter Lab extension called API Baker. API Baker makes creating and sharing your functions with your colleagues, users, and teammates easier than ever. You can turn a function in your notebook into an API service in a matter of few clicks. After API Baker is installed, every time you open a Python notebook, you will notice that there is a new button named Bake API, as well as a new menu named API Baker. So open your notebook if you don't have it open. And in this case, I'm going to use this example that this function retrieves, reads, plots, and saves an image based on netcdf for data from the modern era retrospective analysis for research and applications version 2 or MIRA 2. So as you can see, I have all my imports here on the top and the function just down there in the same cell. So if you want to create a new API, you just need to click on Bake API and you will see a dialog that shows you a drop-down menu with all the functions that are in your notebook, so you can select the one you want to turn into an API service. So in this case, I have only one, so I just click on Next. Then you will be prompted to add a domain of your API. This is a feature that will be released in the near future. So for now, we just use test.com. Then click on Next, and you will be prompted to add a version. This is just to keep a track of all the to do versioning basically of each of the APIs that you're creating. This is also a feature that will be released in the near future. So in this case, we just use v1 and click on Create. You will be notified when the creation is ready. So the first thing that you will get is the URL of your service. The actual process takes between 10 and 15 minutes due to all the underlying services that are created. I also want to bring your attention to this Docstrings section of the function. As you can see, these are, let's say, custom attributes or parameter names that we use in API Baker. The help one is basically just to provide any type of information that might be useful for the end user to interact with the API service. So every time they send a GET request to the URL of the service, they will get this information. So this is basically the description of the function in this case, and then I add a param attribute for each of the parameters that my function receives. So let's wait until we get the URL of the service, and then we can continue. So we got the URL, so you can click here and copy, and you will have it in your clipboard. So the process is still going on, and shortly we will receive a new notification letting us know that the process is still going, and you will be notified when the process is ready. So here it is. So now that the process has finished, you can take the URL that we got in the beginning of the process and check its health. We create the API service with that endpoint called health. So you can take your web browser or your Python notebook or curl or any other REST client and check that health endpoint. So let's say that we want to check that using curl. So we write curl and the URL, and we should get okay. So our service is up and running. So now let's take a look at the security feature that we added to this API service. So you go to the API Baker menu, and if you click on tokens configuration, you will see the list of API services that you have created so far. In this case, we go to this one. And as you can see, we have again the URL, the endpoint, and we see a default token. We have added a tokens functionality. So every request that other users will make to your API has to be authenticated. So in this case, we created a default token because we needed one for starters. This token never expires, and you can only refresh that token. And this refreshment happens instantly. So every time you click, you will get a new token. So let's say that you want to share your API service with colleagues. Let's say that I want to share my API with Ramon. So I insert the name. It can be anything, and then I click on create. And as you can see, there is a new token for Ramon. And in this case, because it's not the default one, I can delete it and refresh it. As it happens with the default one, every time you click on refresh, you will get a new one. So when you want to share your API service with your users or colleagues or teammates, you just need to provide a URL and a token. Oh, by the way, the tokens are valid for 60 days, as you can see here. We are planning to release in the future. We are planning to release a automatic refresher for after the 60 days, and a lot more other features. So if I want to share this service with a colleague, I will just get the token, and let's say that your user will create a new notebook, and let's fill up here a few things. As you can see, you can use requests, or you can use any other library that allows you to make HTTP requests. You can also use Postman, you can use curl, and we will see a few examples with curl later on. So let me copy the token I got for Ramon. Let's say that it's Ramon that is making this request. And I just copy the URL. Let's test this health one. Oh, sorry for that. It's health here. So I get an OK. That's awesome. Now I want to get the information of the function. So as you can see here, there is an additional information. So this is a description I added of usage and help, and all the parameters with their respective type and so on. So this will provide information on how to use your API service. So I will paste again here in the post request, and add the information that I have been told here. So there's a year, it's type of string. The same thing with month and day, and a title. We'll just add this title here, and a name for the image that I will get later on. This is, of course, all these parameters depend on entirely on your function. So when I just send this request, I will get a URL that will allow me to interact with, to use it anywhere I want. So yeah, as you can see here, we got the URL, and let's say that you want to use that image in your code. So what we have to do is just get it and copy it here, plus other parameters specific for this function. And then you get the image there. As you can see, this is a pre-signed URL for an S3 object. It entirely depends on your function. So now let's try the same thing using curl. Okay, so let's try now with curl. As you can see, we get the same information, and here if we send the post request, we should get the pre-signed URL. We can just for example copy it and paste it in your browser. In this case, we will be requested to download the pre-signed URL. So as I mentioned, we have a lot more features coming up. So, and we hope you have found this video useful. We are really excited to bring API Baker to you. We can wait to see what you will build with it. Thanks for watching.